Hey, and thank you again for clicking play. Now, in case you missed it, because it was actually hidden within the episode where I'm just talking through and starting to do the renovations to my garage space, that's when I completely unexpectedly picked up this arcade unit. Now obviously it's not an original arcade unit, it's not a AGIMA cab, it's not an original game, it's clearly an emulation unit, but just to give you a quick recap, basically my mate Shane spotted it at the local transfer station. It was marked as shell only, $35. That's $35 Australian. So I of course went up there because he knew I was after one, and we grabbed it because I couldn't build a shell for this cheap. And I also asked him over the phone, I said, has it got the joystick assembly? And he said, yeah, it's got one of the X-Cade joystick assemblies, and he said that's worth about $250 by itself. I don't know the actual value of those, but you know, if you're going to build it yourself out of buttons and stuff, it's certainly not going to be cheap. This, I believe, is an all-in-one unit. We'll get to look at that as we go through. The nice surprise is, as you would have seen if you did see that other episode, is the fact that it wasn't just the shell only. Whether they didn't realise or I don't know, but inside this was a computer CRT, so just a standard PC CRT with the front bezel painted black, and in the bottom was a small or a low form factor PC. What I want to do today, this isn't going to be the start of the restoration. I basically want to, we bench tested the PC and it seemed to fire up. I just want to have another quick play about with that, do what we need to do with that, and then let's put, today all we're going to do is put that PC and the screen back into this unit, plug in the joystick assembly and see what works. Let's do it. Okay, so first things first, we obviously, when we booted it up, last time I looked at this, it needed the BIOS resetting, so I'm not even going to second guess it. We all know what that means. Let's swap out the CMOS battery and assume that's all we need to do. There's the old one, the new one's in my pocket. And I do love these cases. Compaq and HP, I think, did the same. We just put that in, slide it on. No screws. Don't even need that. Okay, so just like last time, it is saying that the system has changed since your last boot, blah blah blah. This could be a loss of power or real-time clock has occurred. Real-time clock cloud, the onboard battery is not functioning correctly. I've of course now put a new battery in, but this is the first boot. So I'm going to quickly go through, I'll fast forward this, we'll set it up and then we'll power it down, turn it back on again, as in we'll completely unplug it and we'll see if it keeps the changes. Okay, and with that sound, we're at the point I'm going to let that shut down, and then we'll unplug the power from the computer completely, and then we'll boot it up again, and in theory, it should be fine. In fact, what I'm going to do is, because I want to give that machine a good 5 to 10 minutes unplugged with no mains power, so I'll take the back off this so you can have a quick look and see what's inside. So it's been made quite nicely. You've got some holes for ventilation. I was actually thinking about that just this morning or last night, because I was thinking I don't know if it has any and I might have to drill some. It has it. You've got these wing nuts. Good move. Wing nuts, beautiful. And that's the inside of the cabinet. So I'll get you closer, I'll take you off the tripod and we'll have a look in the back. So up the top, first and foremost, obviously it's very simple. That's where the monitor rests against. You can see that bit of plexi is flapping around. That's because this has come off. So that was clearly just glued on there. And that would push forward against the frame, and they've just used wooden bits of picture framing to create the front bezel. It's very simple. So as I restore this, which is not what we're doing today, I might make some subtle changes, but yeah, for today that's not going to be in place. Maybe I can just wedge that down there. No, I can't because it's too fat. Anyway, God, it smells of freshly cut wood. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say. So I'm not sure how old this project is. Up here you've actually got some speakers already in place, and that's where the fluoro, which isn't working, was velcroed in. You got your wires coming down here and the other side as well. They will go into the subwoofer, obviously, for the sound. And then this, so let's have a look at the back of this joystick. Actually I'll get some additional light in at this point. So on the back of the joystick here, we've got a switch that I'm not going to mess about with. That's first of all, you got the cable that goes down there. There's another bit there. I don't know. When we play about with the speakers, I'll figure some of that out. So I've got that other DIN socket there. That's your main control cable, which we'll have a look about in a second. And then you've got a switch there, which I'm not going to play about with, because I'm going to assume this was set up correctly. You've got a button on the back here. Don't know what that does. Interestingly, so these other buttons, so those buttons that were on the right hand side of the cabinet, no, the left hand side when facing it from the front, those are there. They're not connected to anything, so I don't think those were in use. That button there is connected to that cable there, which goes to that. Which goes to that. So I'm not sure what that does. We'll figure it out. Unless that went on there. No, that wouldn't. No, because that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, audio is easy. So they're your audio cables. With the DIN into the sub, and then you've got your right hand audio, but your left hand audio, I can understand that. And then this is the box of magic, so that's the plug coming from the joystick, and then this box here converts that to USB, and that's what goes into the PC. This, I'm suspecting, maybe also goes into the subwoofer. We'll see what connections we've got on the subwoofer. To maybe it mutes the audio? We'll see. Okay, it's been almost 10 minutes actually. Plugging in. I'll turn that off. Perfect, that's what I wanted to see. No beeps from the CMOS, booting straight up into Windows. Sorry for the strobing. And then straight into MAME. Right, let's get this in the back of the cab. I'll plug it in and we'll see what we've got. I'm not seeing anything, and I think that that's because the PC is not in a powered on state. We haven't connected this to anything. I'm interested to know if maybe there was somewhere, maybe that's a power on off that I need to find where you plug it in. It's going to turn the PC on the traditional way. There we go. So that's where we're at today. Let's see if I can get a shot without rolling. Okay, that's minimal strobing. Let's see what we've got. So the big question is, do these work? It's going up and down the menu. Is there a quick way of, oh, and that joystick jumps further down. This MAME is new to me. I've never even played with MAME on a PC without this kind of setup. I know that will shock some of you, but it's just not something I've been aware of it. I installed it once on a laptop with some ROMs. That's as far as I got. I didn't play anything. So we've got something I know how to play well, like Street Fighter 2. Gauntlet, you've got all sorts on here. Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior. Here we go. So I assume I press number 1, one player, loading. Use of emulators in conjunction with ROMs you don't own is forbidden by, yeah, that's fine. It says type OK to continue. Well, how do you get past that? How do you get past that? And that's not going to do anything. I need to plug in a keyboard. I typed OK on the keyboard. Yep, that sound is coming from these speakers and something from that sub, I think. Needs to go up a bit. That's better. I think it was just a touchy connection. That's louder. Right, how do we get in? One up. I'm playing Street Fighter 2 on an arcade cabinet that I got for $35.
Round 1, fight!
Okay, so I'm not sure, how do you exit a game? That's adding credits or something. Oh, I've now got 2 players going. What are these buttons? Right, according to the interwebs, what we do is we simultaneously press down the right pinball button and hold down the player 2 button. However, this method does not work for what? However, this method does not work for the solo. Okay, let's try. So hold down that, press, and we're back to the menu. Okay, that's awesome. So this goes into this here, and then we can see what that does. Okie dokie, I didn't want this to come back to the bench. So this card here simply has that one socket, and that's going to this grey cable here. That's all it does, so it's literally a switch. So it's just passing through a switch, and it's going through the front there, back round, and then it's going just down into the back. That looks like it's soldered on to the back of here. Where is it? That grey cable. That goes into the back there, which comes through to here, which is the power switch. That's all that's there. Okay, so look, I'm happy. I've got an arcade cabinet that I got for $35. I couldn't build it that cheap. Plus I've got a Windows XP PC, a CRT monitor, an X-Arcade joystick setup, and most importantly I now know how to exit back to the menu. So that issue with that power switch, I think that should be easy to fix. I think what I'll do is I'll just replace all the wires between when we come to do the restoration, and that will be the next part. It won't be necessarily something I do immediately. And this is, yeah, I'll give you a bit of a funny story, right? So when I visited the Arcade Archive in Stroud in the UK as part of the RMC exhibition, fantastic. Bit of overlay with that iconic sound of when you first walk into that Arcade Archive. And that's fantastic. That is beautiful, and you can't, that is such a cool thing they're doing there. But there's an alternative. There is almost the complete opposite experience, whereby, without me even putting this thing back together as far as I have today, this thing's just been pushed up against the wall, and my car's been in the way, and I'll give you a bit more overlay again to help you understand the evocative feeling I've had every time I walk past my side garage door and I see the beautiful rim of my car, I see that beautiful front quarter, and then my eyes go past it and they see this old, dusty, imperfect, non-original arcade cabinet just sitting there waiting, just waiting. And I like that. So as I restore this, and as I continue with my garage project, I'm not aiming for a pristine look and feel. Even when I get an original MAME Cab, I want the dents, I want the dings, I want the scratches, I want the dust. I want that, not the Flynn's Arcade in Tron, but I want the Flynn's Arcade in Tron Legacy. Thanks for watching. Your wine, madam.
Would you like a confession?
What's your confession?
So, I haven't played for such a long time. I tried to jump on the cars.
Oh! Thanks for watching. I just came back into the garage. The machine was in sleep mode, and I hit the red button. And it worked. I've just shut it down using this button, the red button. It works. Oh, hell yeah. But Defender will have to wait for another day. Watch. Hitting the red button. It freaking works. Sorry about the strobing. That's Windows XP shutting down. Let's get away from there so you get less strobing. And that machine will shut down. 3, 2, 1. Oh, see you. How many times have I said this in this one? In the next video.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and